Someone asked in the comments, why does God talk to you? I am an avatar of God, the Arcturians, Muhammad and Aisha, Krishna and Radha, and Matthew and Joan of Arc.
Aliens try communicating. Humans are too dumb to notice.
Support the making of a movie about Prophet Muhammad and Aisha.
Greetings from the Arcturians. Now I'm being asked to mention someone by name. I'm being asked by the Arcturians and Prophet Muhammad to mention someone by name here. Dr. Zakir Naik. Zakir Naik, I know you're watching me. We know you're watching us. And how would I know? That is a sign for you from Allah. And that is personal proof for you from Allah and from Prophet Muhammad, because Prophet Muhammad is here with me too. So, you're watching me, you're watching us, and we know. And we're letting you know that we know. Now, someone left a comment under my video a few days ago, and I'm getting to it now. This person left a comment and said something. This person said, everything in the Quran makes sense. Actually, no, not everything. Not everything in the Quran makes sense. And I'll just give you one example from the Quran. Quran chapter 4, verse 34. Quran 4:34. Tell me, how does that Quranic verse makes sense? Tell me how. And especially if this person who left this comment was and is a woman, because this Quranic verse is on beating women and beating wives. So tell me, how does that make sense? Tell me why Allah would want men to beat up women and husbands to beat up their wives. Tell me why Prophet Muhammad would want men to beat up women and husbands to beat up their wives. Tell me why. And then also, aren't men and women created equal? Aren't we equal? Aren't we created equal? Didn't Allah create men and women equal? Were we not created as equals? So then, in this verse, let's say in the same verse, where is the part that says the same about men, or how women should treat men, or how women and wives should beat up men, and how wives should beat up their husbands? Where is that part in that verse? I'm wondering. If men and women are created equal, and if we are equals, so where is that part in that Quranic verse? Because then, if you're going to tell, or if Allah and Prophet Muhammad is going to tell men and husbands to beat women and wives, then where is the part that says, oh, and women can beat up men too, and wives can beat up husbands too, because that would be fair and that would be equal, right? So where is that part in that Quranic verse? Now that's what's not making sense to me. Because how does that make sense? If everything in the Quran makes sense, then how does that make sense? Are you getting my drift? Because just because of that one verse in the Quran legitimizing beating up women and beating up wives, look at the world women are having to live in. Look at how we've been oppressed for thousands of years already, and we are still being oppressed even in this day and age, even in the 21st century. Even in modern day and age, in the 21st century, women are being oppressed by men and husbands. Just because of this one Quranic verse legitimizing the oppression of women, legitimizing the oppression of women even by beating them up. Oh, that it's okay for men to beat up women. Oh, and it's okay for husbands to beat up their wives. Really? And you think that verse has come from Allah? And you think that that verse has come from Prophet Muhammad? Think again. Think again. And then, some men have even come up with this. Oh, just beat them lightly. If you have to, just beat them lightly. And who's coming up with that? Did that come from Allah? Did that come from Prophet Muhammad? No. Where is that coming from? From men who have no direct connection to Allah, who have no direct connection to Prophet Muhammad, like I do. We are Prophet Muhammad and Hazrat Aisha, Mu'mineen Aisha, Prophet Muhammad's wife. And that's exactly how this verse of the Quran was cooked up. Men like that who came up with the idea of, oh, just beat them lightly if you have to. Just like men came up with this idea the same way, and the same kind of men, or a particular man that I know who, because I'm being told who exactly came up with that Quranic verse. And it was not Allah and it was not Prophet Muhammad, meaning it did not come from Allah and it did not come from Prophet Muhammad. That Quranic verse has not come from Allah. It has not come from Prophet Muhammad either. And I'm being told by Prophet Muhammad who it was who came up with this verse. And then it somehow magically, but not so magically, because of course, if we look it up, if we look up the history of the compilation of the Quran, meaning how Quran was compiled, and meaning, how Quran was put together, then we'll know the truth. Or maybe not. Maybe most people will still need someone like me to tell them the truth. Actually, let me refresh my memory of that Quranic verse. Quran 4:34 here quickly. It's Surah An-Nisa, which means, An-Nisa means the women. Chapter 4 of the Quran, Surah An-Nisa. An-Nisa means the women. Verse 34, it says, as for women of whom you fear rebellion. Oh, really? So I guess I would fall into that category, because I'm sure people in general, but Muslims, and especially Muslim men, are looking at me like I am being rebellious. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna come and beat me up? And now I'm remembering something from the past to do with my Muslim family. Yeah, I've been beaten up by my Muslim family in the past. All I'm doing here is bring out the truth and to break all the lies of false religious programming that people in general of all religions, especially the mainstream religions of Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Hindus even, have been programmed with. But we're talking about, we're addressing Muslims here mainly. So, all the false religious programming that Muslims have been programmed with generation after generation after generation for the last, 1400 years or so? That's 1400 years or so? So all I'm trying to do here, and all we're trying to do here, is break that false religious programming, break all the lies. But of course, Muslims are so religiously programmed, and especially Muslim men. Because I'm a woman, it's a problem. It's a major problem that this is coming from a woman. For, misogynists, especially men who are misogynists, misogynistic men. And there's a lot of them in the Muslim world. There's a lot of Muslim men who are like that, who are misogynists. They can't stand a woman doing what I'm doing. So what? And that's actually exactly that thought's coming to my mind right now. Exactly why this verse came from a man other than Prophet Muhammad, because this verse did not come from Prophet Muhammad. That's exactly why this verse came from a man because of fear of women like me, so we don't rebel, oppress us, even beat us up if you have to, put us in a cage if you have to. Because how dare we rebel for our rights even, or for our right to be an equal to men. Our God-given right to be equal to men. But no, God Allah has given women that right to be an equal to a man, but men do not want to give women that right, do not want to give women that God-given right to be equal to men. How does that make sense? Tell me, how does that make sense? Tell me, somebody tell me. You see, that's why not everything in the Quran makes sense. Sister, whoever left the comment, if you were even able to watch this video this far, because I'm sure I'm gonna trigger a lot of people, a lot of Muslims, and I'm gonna make a lot of Muslims uncomfortable with this because of their religious programming, and especially Muslim men because of their big egos and the fact that they are misogynists and narcissists who want to oppress women by any means necessary, and who do not want to give women their God-given right to be equals and to be an equal to men. God has given that right. Allah has given that right to be equal, to be an equal to women. But men are still not giving us that God-given right to be an equal. Men are still refusing to treat us as an equal. When Allah has created us equal, when Allah has given us that right to be equal. But oh no, men won't even let us have that. It doesn't matter if Allah created men and women equal. It doesn't matter if Allah, gave men and women equal rights. Because if you have been created equal, then that automatically means that you have been given equal rights as well. So then why are men refusing to give women that God-given right to be an equal? Why? And these are supposedly such godly Muslim men who are all for Allah and who are all for Prophet Muhammad. But they don't want to follow this command of Allah and Prophet Muhammad to, treat women equally and treat them right. Why do they not want to do that? It's because of this verse in the Quran that has not come from Allah, and it has not come from Prophet Muhammad either. But that's what Muslims have been religiously programmed to think and believe, that everything in the Quran has come from Allah and Prophet Muhammad. Is it? Are you sure? And actually, I have done a video on Quran 434. It's here on my channel. If anyone, and especially any women watching me, and especially any Muslim women watching me, want to look it up. But I will also put that in or add that in as an end screen at the end of this video. So you'll see that video as an end screen at the end of this video. Check it out if you like. We'll leave it there. Over and out.